Hello everyone, welcome to this learning session on software engineering, chapter system modeling. In this video, we will explore how systems are modeled to support better understanding, design, communication throughout the software development process. In this chapter, we will cover the following topics: content model, interaction model, structural model, behavioral model, and model-driven engineering. Let's begin. What is system modeling? System modeling is the process of developing abstract model of a system, where each model represents a different view or perspective. Today, system modeling typically uses graphical notation or almost always based on UML, Unified Modeling Language. These models help analysts understand system functionality and are used to communicate with customer and stakeholder. Now we will discuss about existing and planned system model. We build model of existing system during requirement engineering. This helps us clarify current operation and identify strengths and weaknesses. Planned system models, on the other hand, help us communicate proposed requirements and support system design and documentation. In model-driven engineering, this model can even be used to generate complete or partial system implementation. Now we will discuss about system perspective. There are 4 key perspectives in system modeling. 1. External perspective is focusing on the system environment. 2. Interaction perspective is detailing how system component and user interact. 3. Structural perspective is outlining data and organizational structure. And 4. Behavioral perspective is capturing how the system responds to event dynamically. Now we will discuss about UML diagram types. UML provides several diagram types for system modeling. There are activity diagram for processes and data flow, use case diagram for user-system interaction, sequence diagram for dynamic interaction flows, class diagram for structural relationship, and state diagram for modeling system responses to event. And now we will discuss about the role of graphical models. Models serve different purposes, such as supporting discussion even if incomplete, and then documenting system, serving as detailed specification to generate code. Accuracy and completeness depend on the model purpose. Importance of system models. Models help analysts understand system functionality. They are also useful in discussion with customer to clarify requirement and expectation. Now, we will discuss about existing versus planned system models. Models of existing system are helpful during requirement engineering. They reveal current functionality and limitation. Models of planned system, on the other hand, illustrate proposed change and support communication with stakeholder and developer. Context model and system boundaries. Context models show the environment in which a system operates and help define system boundaries. These boundaries affect requirements and often involve political or organizational decisions. Now we will discuss about process perspective. While context models show the environment, process model explain how the system is used. Activity diagram can describe workflow such as business processes or procedure like involuntary detention. And now, this different about interaction model and use cases. Interaction model show how user and system communicate. Use case diagram present tasks involving external actor. Sequence diagram detail interaction between object and actor over time. And now we will discuss about structural model and class diagram. Structural model represent system architecture. Class diagram, for example, define object types and their relationship. These diagrams are essential during system design, especially in object-oriented approach. And we will discuss about generalization and aggregation. Generalization allow us to group similar classes and reduce complexity. Aggregation show how classes are composed of other classes, reflecting full-part relationship. Behavioral models. Behavioral models depict how systems respond to input and event. These include data-driven and event-driven models. State diagrams are especially useful for modeling real-time system behavior. And now we will discuss about model-driven engineering or MDE. MDE focuses on creating executable system from model. It raises abstraction level, allowing engineers to focus less on code and more on system behavior. This includes techniques like model-driven architecture or MDA, which can transform high-level model into working software. And now we will discuss about adoption of MDA. Although MDA offers potential benefit, adoption has been limited. Tool support, cost, and the rise of agile method pose challenges. Often, the abstraction provided by models doesn't directly translate to implementation need. And now we will discuss about the key point of system modeling. You will remember about a system modeling. A model is an abstract view of system that ignores system detail. Complementary system model can be developed to show the system context, interaction, structure, and behavior. Context model show how a system that is being modeled is positioned in an environment with other systems and processes. Use case diagram and sequence diagram are used to describe the interaction between user and system in the system being designed. Use case describe interaction between a system and external actor. Sequence diagram add more information to this by showing interaction between system objects. Structural model show the organization and architecture of a system. Class diagram are used to define the static structure of classes in a system and their association. Behavior model are used to describe the dynamic behavior of an executing system. This behavior can be modeled from the perspective of the data processes by the system or by the event that stimulate response from a system. An activity diagram may be used to model the processing of data, where each activity represents one process state. State diagrams are used to model a system behavior in response to internal or external event. And model-driven engineering is an approach to software development in which a system is represented as a set of models that can be automatically transformed to executable code. Okay, now we will discuss about types of model. A computation independent model, or CIM, is this model the important domain abstraction used in a system. CIM are sometimes called domain models. 2. A platform independent model, or PIM. This model the operation of the system without reference to its implementation. The PIM is usually described using UML models that show the static system structure and how it responds to external and internal events. And 3 is platform specific model, or PSM. They are transformation of the platform independent model with a separate PSM for each application platform. In principle, there may be layer of PSM with its layer adding some platform-specific detail. And now we will discuss about Agile method and MDA. The developers of MDA claim that this is intended to support an iterative approach to development and so can be used within Agile method. The notion of extensive upfront modeling contradicts the fundamental ideas in the Agile Manifesto, and I suspect that few Agile developers feel comfortable with model-driven engineering. If transformation can be completely automated and a complete program generated from a PIM, then in principle, MDA could be used in an Agile development as no separate coding would be required. Symbol of activity diagram, there are initial node, activity or action node, final node, decision node, merge node, fork node, join node, control flow object node, swim lane or partition, signal send node, signal receive node, and flow final node. Symbol of use case diagram, there are actor, use case, system boundary, association or communication, include relationship, extend relationship, and generalization or inheritance. Symbol of sequence diagram, actor, object of lifeline, activation bar, message are synchronous, asynchronous, and return. And then create message, destroy message, self message, ALT, op or looping combined fragment, frame, and guard condition. Symbol of class diagram. There are class, attribute, operation or method, association, multiplicity, generalization or inheritance, realization, dependency, aggregation, composition, interface, enumeration, and abstract class. The symbol of state diagram. There are initial state, state, final state, transition, event, action, guard condition, entry or exit action, composite state, substate or nest state, choice pseudostate, and history state. Okay, to learn more about drawing models, please join my class at Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Thank you for joining this learning session on system modeling. We hope you now understand how different models contribute to successful software development. Continue practicing with UML and explore how modeling can improve your system design. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.